Barcelona Football Club is known to everybody, to every man and his pet dog.
I love the Catalan side.
Yeah, but
not just the club, but the city itself.
Yeah, but for me, yeah, the city of course, that will be on your to-do list, I guess, your bucket list.
Yes,
traveling to Catalonia, especially Barcelona's own area, not Espanyol. Clearly, I don't think you touch Espanyol with the 10 football.
Maybe.
Okay, going there to mock them.
No, just sightseeing, I guess.
Watch your back when you do so. I remember vividly, I think that was it Emerson? I'm trying to remember the player when the Calciopoli scandal happened in 2006, when Juventus was relegated to the Serie B. Some of the players decided to jump ship and then join other clubs. There was one player, was it Zambrotta? I'm trying to remember who exactly. He joined Barcelona, got to the city of Barcelona, and then hailed a cab, taking him to Camp Nou. Once he told them he was going to Camp Nou, the cab took off because he found out that the guy was an Espanyol fan. So rivalry is very, very rich in different parts of the world.
It is.
Okay, so speaking of rivalry, there will be a very, very solid rivalry on the home front this weekend, and that's going to be in the NPFL, the Nigerian Premier Football League, in Rangers clash versus Enyimba. Now, that is the Oriental Derby. The Oriental Derby, indeed. There are Oriental Derbies, and there is the Oriental Derby. Sorry, Heartland. Sorry about the Afia Warriors. I'm so sorry. But it is what it is. Because Enugu Rangers, in a bid to save what is left of their faltering season, and of course we know that they are not going to defend the title anymore, are going to try to get one against Enyimba. They are bitter rivals, the 9-time champions. The defending champions, Rangers, are the 8-time champions, so they're going to try to get something against Enyimba at home. Home has not been a fortress. The Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium has not been a fortress in recent times. So really, it's very, very disheartening. But Rangers, one thing we can deliberately tell you is this, that Enugu Rangers will not defend their MPFL title, not even close. Because we're looking at other teams that will do just that, win the title. And that's what brings us straight to the match day table. Match day 35, Kano Pillars, same as Sugida, they won Rivers United yesterday, and that gives, Rivers United were the closest challengers to the title, in the title race. That gives Remo Stars a big opportunity to become the first privately owned side since Julius Berger in 2000 to win the MPFL. Yeah. And then the other fixtures we have from today, we have Nassau United up against Heartland FC. Heartland may get relegated today if they lose that game, unfortunately. Plateau United up against Mendel Insurance. Kwara United against Lobby Stars, already relegated Lobby Stars. Rangers against Enyimba, that is the match of the weekend. And then Sunshine Stars against Katsina United. Abia Warriors up against 3SC, that's Shooting Stars of Ibadan. And then Bayelsa United up against El Kanemi Warriors. Aqua United, I beg your pardon, up against Ikorodu City, Oga Boys. And the game that everybody's going to be watching, which may just be the title deciding game, Remo Stars at home at the Kenneth Stadium up against Niger Tornadoes. Let's have a look at the table so you can see how dynamic the table is. Remo Stars are sitting on top there. I think that should be 65, is 65 points? Yeah, 65 points.
Second place, Rivers United with 58 points.
58 points, that's 7 points. Yeah, go ahead.
In third place with 53 points. Well, quite an impressive season for them.
Yes.
Abia Warriors sitting in fourth. Also a good season for them as well. Level on points to the Ikorodu Boys. Benno Insurance in fifth, climbing into the fifth place with 50 points. Kano Pillars in 6th place with 50 points as well. Rangers dropping into 7th after a series of poor performances, 49 points. Enyimba, level on points. The two big guys that are going at it today, 7th and 8th. 9th place Shooting Stars, 10th place Bayelsa United, 11th place Plateau United. Kwara United occupied the 12th place, 13th place Katsina United, 14th place Niger Tornadoes, 15th Nassau United, 16th El Kanemi Warriors. 17th place, Heartland FC, Aqua United in 18th, Sunshine Stars in 19th, and already relegated Boys, Lobby Stars. Okay, so we're going to have two major focuses on this. First of all, looking at the Remo Stars' potential to win the title, and I'll explain. Then we're going to look at the Enyimba and Rangers situation there. Enyimba, unfortunately, Rangers find themselves in 7th on the log, and then that's Enyimba. Where's the position again? They are. Enyimba should be Enyimba 8th, just
8th, yes, exactly, just behind. I was actually looking for the cookies, but I found them there. Okay, first of all, before we go to the 7th and 8th clash between the two most successful sides in the MPFL, if you look at Rivers United's loss to Kano Pillars, look at the implication now. Rivers United have 58 points, having played 35 games, which means they can get a maximum of 9 points from the 3 games left, which means 9 points plus 58 gives you 67. That's what it means. What that means is that Remo Stars, who have 65 points, all they need to do is win. If they win this game, this match week 35 game, that will give them 68 points, which means it will be mathematically impossible for Rivers United, the closest challengers, to get there, to win. Because whatever they do, once Rivers United gets 68 points, the maximum that, once Remo Stars, I beg your pardon, get 68 points, the maximum that Rivers United can get is 67 points. So this is a title-winning game. Niger Tornadoes will do their best to try to avoid getting further down than they are. They are 14, so they are relatively safe. But they'll want to play for pride. Yes. But doing that at the Kenneth Stadium, and Remo Stars know that history is in the making. They have to get that win. So really, what is your forecast, America, concerning this match? Are we going to see the first privately owned side winning the Premier League title since Julius Berger did in 2000? Are we going to see that?
I think that has been clear for quite a long time now, yeah, because Remo Stars have looked like they're not relenting. They've looked like there's no turn that they can't overlook. And for a long time, they've been on top. Nobody has changed places with them. They've not dropped from first to second or third for a very long time. And like you said, it's just remaining a game. If they can get the 3 points, they steal the title. I'm sure the manager and the players will be in sync and say, okay, this is our only chance to get it. Today or nothing. Just put it out there, get the 3 points, we have the title. That's all that has to be done. Okay,
so some things are constant in life, like rain, taxes, and some other things I won't mention because of national TV. And then one other constant is the fact that Daniel Ogumodede it's not a matter of if, but when, is going to be an MPFL, Nigerian Premier Football League, winning manager. It might happen today. Of course, hopefully in front of the home fans, it's going to happen today. What's your prediction for the game in terms of maybe the dynamics? Where will the game be won and lost, and the score line? What's your thought?
Scenario A, Remo Stars will come too complacent and, okay, see, all right, Niger Tornadoes are down on the table. They're maybe hanging just there. They won't come out with a fight, underestimate the opponents, and the opponents come out maybe winning a 2-1, which gives them a chase still for the title. Or they can go in there, look at the opponent and say, okay, these are a tough opponent we're going to play. We'll go out there, get the first goal, defend, get another one, and see how the match goes. It's all down to the tactics of Daniel. Will he get his boys in sync? Will he go out guns blazing, or will he play a conservative game? It all depends on what he and his boys have to play today for us.
Okay, I get the feeling that he just did that for the sake of analysis and punditry.
Yeah, I did that.
Because truth be told, over the past 3 seasons in the MPFL, if we're going to be very honest with ourselves, over the past 3 seasons, the most consistent team in the MPFL has been Remo Stars.
Yes.
They've been very consistent. They've been the only team that has been in the title conversation consistently for 3 seasons straight. They missed out narrowly last season, not for want of trying. Yes. The previous season, the same thing. They were in the discussion. Yes. So this third time lucky is certain. My prediction...
You know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, try
dust yourself off, try again, I
guess that's what they've done this season, and they're almost there, just 3 points.
Yeah. Okay, so definitely, I think I'm going to just predict this match is going to be, they're going to end in grand style. They're going to win Niger Tornadoes by a 3-goal margin at least. They will batter and bruise them.
I wanted to say a 3-goal margin, but I do see maybe a 4-0. This.
Okay.
Just wanted to add salt to injury.
You're reminding me of the title-winning side of the Flying Antelopes, Enugu Rangers, who for the first time they needed to win the title for the first time in 32 years. Imam Mapakabo was the manager, and I'm trying to remember who their opponents were. In the cathedral there, and the guy who scored a hat-trick, I just can't remember for now, but it was a 4-0 mullet. It was there, they were watching, staring, and then they battered the opponents 4-0. And they said, no, this one, no stories, no Dugoturenchi in this matter. Beat them like person with chief meat, like we say in this part of the world. And so you're talking about something similar to that, that Remo Stars will inflict on Niger Tornadoes.
Remo Stars is going to be relentless. Yeah, they are not going to. They're not going to hold back the guns. They are going to
all guns blazing.
They're not holding it back.
I can't say I disagree with you. So, Niger Tornadoes, do your best, huff and puff, but I don't think anything good is going to come out of that. Remo Stars will be crowned champions of the MPFL for the first time in their history. Take that to the bank. And the other fixture, very, very quickly. How do you solve a problem like Enugu Rangers? Now, forget the smile on my face. I'm not happy about it as a Rangers fan. Yeah. And that's the only club I can tell you categorically that I support. That's the club I can tell you. I can neither confirm nor deny another club. Don't be deceived by the jersey you're seeing me wear. But if you look at it very well, Enugu Rangers are hosting Eimba, and Enugu Rangers have not been consistent at home at the Cathedral. Yes, you say Rangers won their last game at the Cathedral. Please, let's stop deceiving ourselves. Yes, Rangers won their last game at the Cathedral, but it was technically an away game against Lobby Stars, 4-1. Yes, it was an away game. We're talking about home games, please. Rangers need to do something. The confidence is not, it's been waning. And looking at Eimba, who are just behind Rangers, who are within touching distance of Rangers' position and even want to overtake Rangers, who seem to be a bit more serious about their aspirations. Mm-hmm. You're looking at the table there. You're looking at Rangers, who have 49 points, and then Eimba, I think the same number of points. But it's goal difference that's the issue right now, a +10 and then a +2. So I know it's not going to happen if Eimba, just assuming the worst happens, Eimba wins Rangers. We're not going to see a mauling. We're not going to see that. Even if Eimba wins, it's going to be a close one. Yeah, but they'll still retain that position there. But is it not disheartening that we're having this conversation in the first place? We hyped, Fidelis Ilechukwu as the rebuilding one, and no, rightly so. This is not in any way undermining Fidelis Ilechukwu. He did a fantastic job last season. But could it be that the MPFL, in terms of competition this season, has become stronger, or the Enugu Rangers have become considerably weaker because of the transfer activity, or a combination of both?
I feel it's a combination of both and other factors as well. Because, I mean, you have to put injuries into play. There are a lot of injuries that we suffered this season. Yeah. There are a lot of players, like you mentioned, that have left the club. Mm-hmm. So normally it's hard to see a team that just won the title manage to maintain their success from the previous season, with a lot of players that have left the door. Maybe a few players that came in that couldn't really fit into the system. Yeah. The management maybe having a few problems by the side. It's a thing of being a victim of their own success. Now, the pressure was on them to retain the title. We've seen this with City in England, where they go on the next season, they maintain the pressure, they keep on fighting, they keep the crucial players that help them win the season. Yeah. But Rangers, there are a lot of players that were crucial to decide goals. Yes. And that really showed this season. Mm. So as the rebuilding one, as they call Fidelis Ilechukwu, is on him now to look beyond this season, look at next season and see how he can get in players that will fit into the vision, that can help them go and get the 9th one for next season. This season, you just look past it, finish as high up as you can, and build for next season. That's what has to happen. Okay, so well spoken. I think we'll just need to hope and pray for the best. Being Rangers fans, let's tell ourselves the truth. The pride of the Southeast is still Rangers. It's really disheartening to see what's happening. It is. But, I mean, it is what it is. We're going to move very quickly. There's a bit of news there concerning the MPFL board's decision to sanction El Kanemi Warriors with a 3.5 million naira fine, and then, of course, banning their home fans from the stadium because of the fracas that happened in the match week 34 game with the Ikorodu City, Oga Boys. The MPFL board, to be honest, has been doing a very good job in terms of discipline, in terms of enforcing discipline, and then making sure that teams do not get away without getting punished for what they do wrong. Yeah. You can't control your fans. That's nobody's fault but you. They are your fans. They represent you. They represent your values and your ethos. And they are doing nothing to show the whole world that you're a club that can be trusted in terms of order and responsibility. So naturally, you're going to get a fine. So I think it's safe to say that
the MPFL board has been consistent.
Yes,
they have
when
been
it
doing a
comes
good
to
job.
handing out sanctions and
Yeah,
punishment.
so but it's 3.5 million naira, considering the fact that there were security breaches in the game and some things that we do not like to see and we do not like to say. Is it safe to say that the 3.5 million naira fine plus the home fans being banned for the rest of the season,
Actually,
is it fair or should they have done more?
It's fair for now, because I mean, in as much as the club will say they had no control over these fans, yes, you should be able to put your fans in check. You should be able to give them the narrative that if they come out to come and support the team, they should comport themselves. They should be able to allow the atmosphere be free and allow everyone to enjoy the game, despite the results. But I mean, the 3.5 million fine is fair on the club for the failure to comply with security personnel to keep the peace in the stadium. The 3 points, I don't know, there was a discussion about 3 points also added there, but that has died off eventually.
Okay.
But the fans being banned for now is fair because of the inappropriate actions from a few of them. Yeah. Maybe the rest of the fans might find it harsh that, okay, they comported themselves and because of a few others, they are being banned from seeing their favorite team. But I mean, we see other leagues also, it's not just the MPFL, where there are misconducts done, the whole fans take the punishment plus a fine is issued. So it's fair enough for now. If there were more issues that arose during the whole situation, maybe a 3-point deduction and some other measures could have been taken into place. I don't know.
Okay, well, fine. I think since we're at the tail end of the season and punishments are being issued and rights are being wrongs are being righted, I guess we put it that way. Let's just see how it pans out this season. Let's just hope that no more serious incidents arise, and we're hopeful to see the end of the season. A very, very wonderful season indeed. Very interesting, very entertaining, very intriguing, I might say rather. But also, talking about intriguing, let's not forget that the African Cup of Nations is coming up this year, December till January. That's the African Cup of Nations hosted by Morocco, and the WAFCON, that is the Women's African Cup of Nations in 2026. So the years 2025, where we are overlapping into 2026, you also have to consider the FIFA World Cup that's coming up later in 2026 will be very eventful. And that's why a big piece of good news has come up right now, because the Confederation of African Football, that is CAF, have entered into a partnership with African Global Logistics, the AGL, and they've signed a partnership to boost the development of the African game. No, Jogo Bonita, beautiful game. So they've entered into that partnership. Even though the terms of the deal were not disclosed, that partnership covers, like I said, mentioned earlier, the 2025/2026 African Cup of Nations, AFCON, and the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations, WAFCON. Now, I want to quote the exact words of the CAF president himself, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, and he said, and I quote, "The AGL is a leading logistics company, and its partnership with CAF reflects the substantial commitment by both parties to the development and growth of football for men and women in Africa. The CAF Africa Cup of Nations is one of the biggest sporting events in the world and attracts over 1.5 billion naira, 1.5 billion, I beg your pardon, in TV audiences across 178 countries. Jurgen Klopp, take note, please. It's not a little tournament. With numerous African and global sponsors and partners supporting the tournament." Jimmy Carragher, I hope you're listening too. Now, the partnership of CAF and AGL will also contribute to the socio-economic upliftment of our rural and urban communities on the African continent. Now, of course, this is a beautiful piece of news. It just shows that CAF is open to big, massive sponsorship deals, and African, the Africa Global Logistics is as big as it gets. Yes. There are some bigger brands I know, but this is a huge brand, and the fact that they've decided to partner with CAF to ensure that the success of the AFCON, upcoming AFCON in 2025 December and 2026, as well as the WAFCON, is non-negotiable. We're going to have a fantastic tournament because the backing, the financial backing and muscle is there. What's your take?
I feel like this is something that should have been long coming. Yeah, CAF needed something like this so that they can put the African football out there on the map and show that, yes, it's not just a little tournament, as a few would say. I mean, I saw the jobs you meant. You showed that Yogen and Nankarga. I mean, this is what we need in Africa. We need that financial backing to show that, okay, yes, the African Cup of Nations is some tournament that you need to sit down and take note of, because there are a lot of stars on display. The women's tournament as well is also something you take note of. But I mean, it's good to see that there is finally financial backings. It's good to know that eventually these tournaments can reach a new horizon. There's a new horizon for the African Cup of Nations, not just the men's tournament, but the women's tournament and other tournaments. I mean, the under-17s for the squads for other countries. It's good to see that these financial backings have come, and I'm really hopeful to see what the CAF president and others can say about this going forward.
Well, okay, wonderful. I think we're going to cue.
All right, we'll cue in a short break. After this, we'll be right back with more on the Home of Sports Afia TV.
He is naturally funny. He is spontaneous. He is fearless. He is Funny Bone. Enugu, get ready for the biggest comedy show in Nigeria. Funny Bone Live. Timeless. Featuring Dandy Humorous, MC Monica, Sawan, Ogwefi, Albino Brothers, Twin Sparrow, Frances, Music by Duncan Mighty, Jerick, and lots more. Date, Sunday, May 4th. Venue, Amadio Event Center. Time, 6 p.m. Tickets, regular 7K, VIP 20K, Gold Table, 1 million naira, Premium Table, 2 million naira. Go get your tickets now at all Kilimanjaro outlets, Market Square, Akarogbe, Ntachiosa, FunzyWeb.com/event. For inquiries and ticket delivery, call 0812-728-6773. Proudly supported by Dino Milk, Minimi Noodles, Live Beer, Feiruz, Tiger Beer, Optiva Capital, Funny Bone Live.
Only on Afia TV, channel 254, DSTV, and channel 17, Ungo TV.
History is calling. The world is coming to Enugu State. The very first Enugu City International Marathon is finally here. That's right. On the 3rd of May 2025, athletes from across the globe will take the very first steps of greatness on the streets of Enugu, supervised by World Athletics and powered by the strength and spirit of the coal city. Are you ready to run? Are you ready to make history? Register now. Visit www.enugucitymarathon.com or pick up your forms at the marathon offices at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, Akbara Square, or at the State Secretariat, Enugu. This is your moment. The road to greatness begins now. This marathon is brought to you by the Enugu State Government and supported by Pinnacle Oil, Afia TV and Radio, RC Cola, Aqua V, and other proud partners, and is brought to you by Nilayo Sports Management Limited.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breast life. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't don't sing along.
I did single. For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
Time check, it's 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV.
So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Hey ladies, join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastline. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did single. For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
Back to the home of sports on Afia TV. That's, of course, on the home of sports, Afia TV. DSTV, you get us channel 254, GoTV channel 17, Free TV channel 748. And I want to sincerely apologize for the lengthy break. We're trying to work on one or two things. And, of course, I come back with a fantastic piece of announcement. Subsequently, from next month, that is from the first show on May the 3rd, we're going to be having a simulcast. Yes, that means you're going to be watching us and listening to us simultaneously on Afia TV, on all our news channels, and then also on Afia Radio, Afia 99.3. So you can actually get that frequency. You will hear us, and then you will watch us. It's going to be a simulcast, that is a simultaneous broadcast. Isn't that wonderful? Because it gives you, our dear audience, the opportunity to participate in the show, to call in, and then to feel, let's feel your pulse as you feel our pulse concerning the world of sports. So that's what's going to happen. So coming from next week, May the 3rd, and moving forward, we're going to have a simulcast. Isn't that news? Emeka, that's great news, right?
That's great news. I mean, we can finally get the thoughts of our listeners and our viewers as well. I mean, I'm excited. I want to see what our natures have to say.
Wonderful. So that's it. So right now, as we're speaking, we're even live on radio. That's the great thing. So we're waiting for next week, and here we are, because we are so dynamic and upwardly mobile in this station. So we're live on radio. So our listeners who are listening, don't touch that dial. The dial there on radio is 99.3. Make sure you're listening to us, because we are giving you entertaining sports news. And we said charity begins at home. Now we've moved from the home front, and we're now in Europe, and emphasis, major emphasis on the dogfight that's happening in the English pyramid. When I say pyramid, I don't mean a pyramid scheme. I mean England, the English footballing pyramid, the top 2 tiers of England. First of all, the English Premier League. The English Premier League. In the EPL, we know that something is going to happen. It's not a matter of if, but when. And that thing that's going to happen in the English Premier League is the fact that with the fixtures this weekend, Liverpool Football Club, being managed by Arne Slot, the Dutchman, is on the verge of winning their 20th top flight title and their 2nd Premier League title ever. And of course, they're on the verge of having the first Dutch manager as the winner of the EPL. Now, all they need to do to secure that, thanks to the draw that Arsenal could muster at the Emirates Stadium at home against Crystal Palace in the London Derby, the only way they can actually be prevented from winning the title is to lose to Tottenham Hotspur and every other team for the rest of this season, and then Arsenal win all their games. So what that means is that whatever happens between Arsenal and all the other opponents, Liverpool just need to avoid defeat today against Tottenham Hotspur at Anfield. This was a Tottenham Hotspur, let's not forget, that lost woefully in a 9-goal thriller at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 6-3. They lost to Liverpool. So I know football is not mathematics, but Tottenham have a wonderful way of granting titles. Yesterday, being the 25th, they're kingmakers who don't know what a crown looks like. No, they were the ones just yesterday, it marked 21 years since their clash with Arsenal in the North London Derby sealed the invincible title, or rather sealed the Premier League title, not the invincible title. It was Leicester that did that in the last day of the season, but sealed the Premier League title for Arsenal then. So Tottenham Hotspur are potentially on the verge of sealing another title for the would-be champions, and that's Liverpool. So I think it's safe to say a big congratulations to Liverpool ahead of time, but we'll get to that in a jiffy. Let's look through the fixtures, Emeka.
All right,
do the honors.
Today we have Chelsea, Everton, an early kickoff by 12:30. We have Brighton versus West Ham. We have Newcastle versus Ipswich. Southampton do host Fulham. Wolves will take on Leicester City. Bournemouth host Manchester United. Liverpool and Spurs, that game is tomorrow. Nottingham Forest and Brentford is also tomorrow.
Of course, the games that involve Crystal Palace and Aston Villa have been moved because they are going to be in action this weekend, FA Cup action. They are in the FA Cup semi-finals. That's why they're not involved in this fixture list. And then Arsenal's game was played a little bit earlier because of the Champions League commitments. Yeah. So it's getting to the tail end of the season. Squeaky bum time. But there's no squeaky bum this time around because Liverpool are going to win the title. It's now not a matter of if, but when. They will win the Premier League title, and I think it's safe to say. So I don't know. Do we say congratulations to this Liverpool side? Mohamed Salah and his teammates are about to get their second title.
Alone this season. That's all I can say.
But I mean, Liverpool have been very consistent. Yeah. You have to say they have been consistent this season. Yeah, it's helped. I won't even refer to VAR. That's not even an issue right now. But it has helped greatly that they've had a relatively soft landing when it comes to injuries. Yeah. They've been relatively injury-free.
Injuries very well throughout the season, and I mean, Arne Slot and his staff have been able to keep the boys fit, keep them red hot, keep them firing on all cylinders. I mean, even when they picked up a few knocks here and there, they were able to get them back into fitness and ready for the next games. So, I mean, kudos to Slot and his crew. This is a well-oiled team, and they deserve the title as they are going to get it. Not if, but when they get it.
Yeah, I mean, they just rightly said, you couldn't have said it any better. I couldn't have said it any better. They are rightfully the champions-elect, and they will be crowned champions very, very soon. Guards of honor will be flying left, right, center. I think Chelsea will be the next to give them a guard of honor.
Are going to be the unfortunate victims to give the guard of honor.
I expect that. They'll give them a guard of honor, and deservedly so. And Liverpool, what makes this all the more sweeter is that this is going to be an opportunity to shut Manchester United up temporarily, because it's going to bring them joint level with Man United in terms of titles won in the top flights, 20 titles. Yeah, I know that Man United have, that is minus this impending win, Man United have the edge in terms of domestic titles. Man United have 39 domestic titles. That's if you count the Premier League titles, or that's the top flight titles, 20 top flight titles, including 13 Premier League titles. They have, I think that should be 13 FA Cups, and then 6 League Cups. Yes. Liverpool have 37. They're about to get 38 most likely, because they have 19, which is about to be 20 top flight titles, with 1 Premier League title, about to be 2 Premier League titles. And then they have how many again? They have 8 FA Cup titles, and then 10 Carabao, that's League Cup titles. They are the most successful team in the League Cup. Yes. So Liverpool, of course, Liverpool have more titles generally than Man U, because if you look at the European scene, they have 9 European titles, as opposed to Man U's, I think, 5 or so. So, but on the domestic front, I think the gap has been bridged seriously. And it's a big, big, big congratulations to the Scousers. The Scousers have done very well. They've been consistent this season. And we have to say, no matter what, no matter how much of an opponent you are to them, we're happy that you've done this. It's a good thing. It's a breath of fresh air. For the first time in 5 years, they're winning the EPL title.
Yeah, the English Premier League is one that you always love to see. It's one of the best leagues in the world. And I mean, seeing Liverpool do it again after 5 years, it's really nice to see. Yeah, a lot of people who had their doubts about Arne Slot when he first came, the shoes were too big for him to fill from Jurgen Klopp's success over the years. But I think he's handled the pressure very well, and I think he stepped into those shoes and made it his own. Made the club something of what he would put his own DNA into, and that the club has a different structure and it's well oiled. Different players came in and they're looking like they've been at the club for years. I'm talking about players like Gravenberch. He settled well in. Bruno Konate looks well mustered this season. Van Dijk firing on all cylinders. Salah, a lot of players right in that Liverpool team look like they've had that new life. Even Nunes in some games has been a crucial player for them. He's won them a few games, and I mean, it's really nice to see that this Liverpool side is well oiled and it's ready to go for another season again.
Yeah, I mean, I won't deny the fact that I was one of the skeptics of Arne Slot. I had my own doubts concerning Arne Slot, because a CV having Hazard, Alkmaar, and Feyenoord is not one that you're going to tremble at, but he's done very, very well for himself coming to the Premier League. No, I know, and I've learned that from experience, more times than not. So really, congratulations in advance to Liverpool, and that's the beginning of an era for Liverpool Football Club. Let's see if they can continue that. Talking about beginning of an era, we now talk about the end of an era for one of the Premier League's finest strikers, one of the Premier League's greatest strikers in recent times. Since he won the Premier League in 2016, he came to, he showed himself, showed what he was capable of doing, and this is somebody who has been very consistent. His story is an admirable story indeed. But after 13 years, it's time for Jamie Vardy, the 38-year-old Englishman, to leave. Jamie Vardy, to leave the Premier League, to leave Leicester City actually. So after 13 solid years with the Foxes, Jamie Vardy is leaving at the end of the season. And you may say that it has a lot to do with the relegation of Leicester City. The Foxes have gone down to the Championship. They will be relegated to the Championship. They have been relegated to the Championship, joining the Southampton. We're waiting to see who the third team will be. But Jamie Vardy has been a loyal servant to Leicester City. So this Midlands club are going to miss his services.
It's not just down to the relegation, because I mean, this is not the first time Leicester are getting relegated in a few years.
He stayed with them the last time.
He stayed with them and came back up with them. So I mean, this is someone who has showed his loyalty to the club. This is someone who has poured his heart out. His family loves the city. He loves the city. He loves the club. He's taken the club like it's his own family. It's his own business. He's gone there. He's given it his all. He's done many wonderful things in 13 years. I mean, the Premier League will never forget Jamie Vardy. Amazing goals he's scored, amazing things he's done in the club. It's wonderful to see this, and I mean, it's sad to see him leave the club. But I mean, it's been 13 wonderful years.
13 wonderful years, 13 eventful years, 13 years with ups and downs. This is a man. I mean, what kind of wonderful story is that? Moving from bricklayer to Premier League elite. You can't write a script.
It's a touching story when you look at it.
Very, very indeed. So, Jamie Vardy, we wish you all the best in your future endeavors and for whatever club you go to. 38 years of age, of course, looking up to people like Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro, who's 40 years of age. You know that you can play, you have a lot more to offer before you get to the age of 40. Other players have done that. I know that Teddy Sheringham played and even scored in the Premier League by the time he was past 40. So, Jamie Vardy, we wish you all the best in the near future, even though your soon-to-be former club is going down to the championship from next season. And speaking of the championship, we're going to look at the championship in a jiffy. So the championship, we're going to look at the championship in a jiffy. Emeka, please.
All right, so the championship, we have news that Leeds and Burnley have been promoted back. These are two clubs who have been in and out over the few seasons ago. I mean, they've been in the league, they've been out of the league, they've been in and out. But it's good to see that Daniel Farke has brought Leeds back to the Premier League and Burnley have come back up after the disappointing season last season. It's nice to see both teams finish with 94 points. A lot of people were saying that was a very tight contested league there, the championship. It was 94 points. The playoffs still to be decided for who is going to... That's the table right there. Just before we go on a quick break, I want to show you the table there. Leeds and Burnley, 94 points each. That's how it stands. And the playoffs will be contested between Sheffield, Sunderland, Bristol and Coventry. That will be played shortly. I hope and excited to see who joins these two teams in the Premier League next season. We'll go on a quick break. Let's just forward into the next story. All right, let's just take a quick look at the table right there. Leeds first with 94 points, Burnley, Sheffield in third place, Sunderland in fourth, Bristol in fifth place, Coventry 6, Middlesbrough 7, Millwall 8, Blackburn Rovers in 9, 10th place West Brom, 11th place Swansea, 12th place Watford. That's the top half of the table. Mr. C?
Yeah, no, why this is very, very intriguing. No, looking at just staying with the top half of the table, I have no particular concern with the relegated sides that will get relegated, because you made your bed, you lie in it. But the fact that a team like, say, West Bromwich Albion, who are 10th on the log, have a chance of qualifying for the Premier League because they're within the relegation, the playoff zone, they could finish 6th. Because West Bromwich, they have 4 games to go. So West Brom with 60 points can get to 66 points if other games flow their way. Because the team that is currently in 6th, that is Coventry, have 66 points. So that's why I'm particularly concerned and glad to see the dynamism of this championship table. It just tells you, and it also shows you how unfair things can be in the championship. Because for those who do not know what happens in the championship, you notice that the first team and the second team qualify for the Premier League straight away, 94 points apiece for Leeds United and Burnley. Even though Leeds United have a far superior goal difference, we do not know yet with 2 match days to go because there are 46 match days in the championship and there are 44 match days have been played. So we don't know yet who's going to win because Leeds could still slip up in the remaining 2 games. Burnley could have more points than them. So all they need to do is get more points than Burnley. Then on the other hand, you look at the teams that finished 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in the championship. They are going to be in the championship playoff zone. So they could actually play and be paired to play together with each other and then go to the championship playoff final. And then whoever wins the championship playoff final could get to the Premier League after winning the playoff, and of course the financial windfall that comes with it. And I think it's unfair because how would a team that finished 3rd, that maybe finished just on points, on goal difference behind the team that finished 2nd, miss out on the Premier League because a team that marginally got into 6th in the championship but won the playoffs. Life no balance at the end of the day. But it is what it is.
It is what it is, actually.
It is what it is. So we're going to go on a very, very, very short break, and we will get to the other aspects of the European games. We saw what happened in the in the UCL, just mentioned that we have games that are coming up this week. We're stepping into the UCL, the UEFA Champions League, semi-finals, first legs, the Europa League semi-finals, first leg, the UEFA Conference League semi-finals, first leg, and then we're going to tidy up one or two things. Stick around, don't touch that dial.
Time check, it's 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV.
So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next girl store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
An incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastline. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along. I did single.
For real?
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
Time check, it's 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV.
So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and
Final leg of the Afia Home of Sports on Afia TV. Of course, the frequencies still remain channel 254 on DSTV, channel 17 Go TV, channel 748 Free TV, and also we're on a simulcast. We launched a simulcast today, and we're going to get more of that from next week because you can hear us live on Afia Radio, Afia 99.3. So from next week, that's the good news. From next week, you can call in. We want to feel the pulse of our wonderful fans around the world, those who are listening to us, those who can hear us, whether here, within the frequency or also online, you can hear us, so that we can participate in this wonderful show, Home of Sports. Now, in the tail end of this show, we want to talk about what's going down tonight. By 9 p.m., El Clasico. I'm wearing a Madrid jersey.
I'm wearing a Barca jersey.
Don't make of that what you will. I'm just, it's all part of the ambience of this. But by 9 p.m. today, I think the two El Clasicos, it's already 2-0 so far this season. 4-0 mauling at the Santiago Bernabeu, 5-2. Humping, yes, in Riyadh. I think it was Jeddah, yes, in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. But this time around, we're having the Copa del Rey final proper. Leave that your jersey, my guy. The Copa del Rey final will happen at the Estadio La Cartuja de Sevilla. It's going to happen in Sevilla, the Copa del Rey final tonight by 9 p.m. Real Madrid up against Barcelona FC. I don't know, what are your thoughts? Please, in just 30 seconds, your thoughts concerning this mouth-watering clash and the fact that Barcelona already have supremacy, but anything can happen.
I think I'm going to give it to the Catalan side.
Naturally so.
Not because I have some preferences for the club, but I mean, they've been better this season over the two matches that we've seen.
Yeah.
Not just over the two matches in the league form and in Europe. We've seen that Barca have edged more over Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, with a lot of injuries that they faced going into this final, there are also injuries for Barcelona, but Barca's injuries seem to be less than Madrid's worries. There were even reports that they wanted to opt for a change of referees and some other things. There were reports about
but they declined. They turned back.
That was declined. And we're waiting for 9 p.m. Let's see a wonderful clash between two giants. Clasico is always one to watch. It's a cinematic show, fella.
Oh yes, definitely. So we can't wait. 9 p.m. the latest installment of the El Clasico before we wait for the next one that will happen later on the 11th of May. That's when Camp Nou will be the hosting ground for El Clasico to see if Barcelona can do the double over Real Madrid. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Hansi Flick has a lot to work on tonight. Likewise, Don Carlo Ancelotti. But that'll be fantastic. Barcelona are trying to hunt for the treble this season. And talking about a treble, this week we're going to have Champions League return. The champions! Yeah, Champions League are returning this week, and it's going to be semi-finals, the last 4 in the UEFA Champions League.
Versus Inter Milan.
Yeah, that's one clash.
PSG. And let's let viewers know that, and the listeners as well, know that PSG and Barcelona are the only two teams that can go for a treble this season. Will Barca edge it? Will PSG edge it? But we don't know.
That's left for Inter and Arsenal to decide against whether they can edge it. And really, we are going to talk more about the dynamics of that when the second leg comes, which is from our next show. We'll talk about the second leg because a lot that will happen will be dependent on the outcome of the first leg. So the first leg, of course, Arsenal will be hosting PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, in the first leg at the Emirates Stadium, and that's going to be on the 29th of April. That's this coming Tuesday.
Inter Milan in the Mojito, Spain.
Yeah, so we're going to see how that pans out. It's going to be a wonderful clash. Champions League, of course, many people are looking to see what the permutations are. Many are saying that Arsenal may face Barcelona in the final. Let's watch and see whether that happens. Whether a repeat of 2006 final will come there. But let's watch and see. So very quickly, America, just give us the fixtures for the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa League and Conference League. Very quickly, please.
For the Europa League, we do have Tottenham hosting Bodo Glimt, and Bilbao, the host of the tournament, will be hosting Manchester United in the first leg of the semi-finals.
Okay, that will be fantastic because Athletic Bilbao, as San Mames, will be hoping to be the final and host. But for that to happen, they need to best Manchester United away, home and away. Let's see how that happens. Tottenham Hotspur
to the Conference League.
Yes, Conference League, very quickly.
We do have Florentino versus Real Betis in the first match there. And the second match is Chelsea versus Djurgården. Chelsea, the favourites to win the tournament, but I mean, take nothing away for Fiorentina, Real Betis, or even those Cardinals, they've gotten themselves into the last four.
Yeah, any team that gets to the last four is a formidable team in its own right. Yeah. So that's exactly what it is. So that's so far, wish them all the best, all the teams that are there. And that's the size of the package. But before we end the show today on Afia Home of Sports, I want to specially wish my dear son, my son who actually accompanied me to the station today. Don't worry, he's not coming on air with me. We don't have that kind of time. But my son, my first son.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next girl store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
An incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.